Hello and welcome to another day's session. This is my second lesson for this week 12, for grade 5 students from the Readers and Writers Notebook. The story is from The Mystery of St. Matthew Island. The Mystery of St. Matthew Island. In this lesson specifically, we're going to look at another lesson on the reading. It's helping students to be able to figure out main idea and details. So the topic for today will be main idea and details. But let me share the page with you and then we will start the discussion. We'll look at the lesson, what it is all about main idea and details. Right. Now, as you can see on the screen, our topic for today is main idea and details. First, let me read and we discuss. Now, we want to know the difference between main idea and details, how they are connected. Now, let's read. The topic is the overall subject of a piece of writing. The main idea of a selection is the most important idea that the topic, the main idea is the most important idea about the topic of that selection. Details are small pieces of information that tell more about the main idea. Let me stop there. First, let's talk about the topic. Every story, for example, or every piece of writing, for example, it has a topic. Like, it's a composition topic or an essay topic, how I spent my vacation, for example, or it's a descriptive essay describing a building, describing a scene, describing something. Okay, that's the topic. Example, you want to talk about the landscape of Saudi Arabia. This is the topic. You want to talk about how you spend your vacation with your family last year. That's the topic. Or you want to talk about how bats, like the story we did last week, how bats came to Austin, to stay in Austin, right? Texas, USA. That can be a topic. And after that, you have the main idea of this topic. The main idea of this topic. So after reading the story or after writing, what is the main idea? What's the main idea that what's the summary of the story? The main idea that you can summarize in one sentence. Your main idea is not necessarily going to be something very long. It's just specific. What is specific about everything? The rounding up, the summary. Then to get the main idea, you need pieces of information, small pieces of information. It is from the smaller pieces of information which you get that you put together will give you the main idea. So without the small pieces of information or the details, you cannot get your main idea. So the topic is connected. The topic is the broad-based one. Okay. Then you have under it, you have the main idea, and under it, you have the details. So the details will help you to build up your main idea, which is related to the topic. Sometimes the author states the main idea in a single sentence. I said it just now. The main idea does not necessarily mean a whole page. It can be a single sentence. A single sentence will give you the main idea. It summarizes everything. For example, talk about the climate of a particular place. You can just use one sentence to give you the main idea. When the author does not state the main idea, the reader must figure it out. So now, it's not in all cases that the author will tell you the main idea in the passage. That is why when you read, you have to figure out what you read. Read for a purpose. And after reading, from the details you get from the story, from the selection, you try to build up your own main idea, what you think is the main idea. Now let's read this story. Read the following passage, then complete the diagram below. So we're going to read this short selection, and then we try to see the small pieces of information. From these small pieces of information, we're going to build up our main idea. Plants, just like animals, can become endangered as a result of the actions of human beings. Some plants are threatened after the insects that pollinate the plant die off. For example, one type of milkweed has nearly disappeared because chemicals kill off the butterfly that pollinates the milkweed. In addition, a plant can become endangered when buildings and roads take over the open lands where it grows. Other human activities such as farming and logging can threaten plants too. Finally, human pollution of land and water threatens many types of natural life, including plants. People are often unaware of it, but human activities can have a harmful effect on plants and other parts of the natural world. So briefly, what this selection is telling us about is about how plants and animals become endangered species. So they are telling us that plants, just like animals, they can become endangered species. Why? As a result of the things we human beings do. What we humans do can make plants become endangered. What do? We burn forests. We cut down trees. When we cut down trees, what do? The forests become endangered. We lose a lot of trees, some animals that live in the forest, they escape from the forest, and we lose those animals and we lose the trees. Some plants are even threatened. Some plants are even threatened after insects that pollinate those plants die off, right? Okay? The plants become threatened after the insects that pollinate those plants die off. Now, they gave us an example, one type of plant called the milkweed. This plant, in fact, not everybody knows about this plant called milkweed. This plant has disappeared. Why? Because chemicals have been used, because chemicals kill off the butterfly that pollinates the milkweed. The chemicals that we use on plants sometimes affect the plant. They kill off the butterfly that pollinates the milkweed. So this plant died off. In addition to that, a plant can become endangered when buildings and roads take over the open lands, right? When people brush land, they clear trees to build houses, plants become endangered. You can't find those plants and trees again. Other human activities like farming, people cut down trees, they burn bushes or farmlands to do farming and to do logging. This can also threaten plants. The last thing is that human pollution of land and water threatens many types of natural life, plants, animals. Like I said, burning of bushes, farming, and other activities, they all contribute towards the they contribute towards plants being endangered and animals being endangered. People are often unaware of this. People do not know the trouble they cause or the destruction they cause to to those animals and plants because of these activities that people do, right? Right, now, let me go down. Let's see the exercise, what they want us to do. Now, if you look at this exercise, you have main idea and details. I told you before that to get the main idea, we need the details. You need details are the smaller pieces of information which you put together and derive, get your main idea. So for this selection that we've just read, we need 1, 2, 3, and 4 details. These 4 details put together will help us get our main idea. As you can see, we have just one box. The main idea needs not be very long. It needs to be just one sentence. Then our smaller pieces of details here. Now, let's go now to the answers and see what could be the smaller details and what could be the main idea. I will share that page again with you. Let's see the main idea and the details. Now, first, I want us to look at the details before we come to the main idea. First, let's look at the details. The first detail is that, from what we read, plants are threatened if the insects that pollinate them are killed by human chemicals. That's one detail. Another detail is that plants are threatened when land is taken over for buildings and roads. A third detail is that farming and logging can endanger plants. The fourth, or maybe the last, pollution of land and water can endanger plants. So these are the details. All of this we have in the story. First point, second, third, and fourth. We read this in the story. From this now, we form our main idea. We get our main idea, which will be just one sentence. So from all what we've said here, we can round up or summarize by saying that plants can be endangered by human actions. All of what is explained here are human actions, using chemicals, taking over land to build, logging, doing logging and farming, and pollution of land and water. All of these are activities by humans, by people. So plants can be endangered by human action. So this is what we call our main idea and detail. So I hope we benefited a lot from this lesson. I hope you can now identify or distinguish between main idea and details. Hopefully in another lesson, I hope we will have more things to discuss. Thank you for being with me, and thank you for following up the lesson.